Oh, it has been at least a couple of weeks since the last message, and I have had some downloads come through. I just haven't had the opportunity to record and bring you guys the messages. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get all of it together and also answer some of your guys' questions, because some of you have been messaging me and just expressing your concern with individual just individual things that you guys are now being faced with, having to make choices, but also wondering what's going on. And so I'm going to cover those things and also give you some guidance as to where we're at and where I see that this can go. Also, as you know, these messages build on the previous ones. So it may sound like it's repetitive, but you have to remember sometimes certain things need to be, I guess I need to remind you of certain things, because the Spirit's saying, people are not taking initiative, not taking action. And this is what Spirit wants you guys to be aware of. And so one of the things that is coming through is for you guys to realize that this is not going away because nobody has been taking action. And somebody asked me recently, well, when is the truth going to come out? Well, the truth is been out. And what I heard is the truth is going to be revealed to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. So before, when I was first bringing these messages, I was getting prophetic downloads, like, oh my gosh, nonstop. And so I was bringing these messages once, twice a week even. And recently I said, I know that they're going to be slowing down and I'm hardly going to be getting anything. And I didn't understand why, but it's clear to me now. I know why. And it's because at the beginning, things were still very cloaked and things were not out in the open. But as time has gone by, and now where we're at, everything's completely revealed out in the open to those who want to know what's happening. Before, the censorship was so heavy that people couldn't, speak into what was happening without it being removed almost immediately. But now, because there's so much of us who are aware and really doing our part, then they cannot take it down fast enough. And so more and more awareness is pretty much, because I see like a web, everybody is linked in now and having this awareness, and the information is being shared worldwide. The thing about that, though, is that nothing is being done. And this is why we're still where we're at. So as the downloads slow down, it was because the information is out in the open. There's nothing that needs to be revealed. There's no truth that needs to be revealed. It's all out in the open. And now, because it's so out in the open, the people, them, are not, they're not putting the brakes on anymore. They don't care anymore. They don't care because, one, as I said before, they're going to do as much damage as they can before they get taken out. But two, there's no one stopping them. So they don't care. They do not care, because we are still complying, not me, but the people. Some of the people are still complying with the ridiculous mandates, and they know that they can do whatever they want, and people are just, for some reason, not snapping out of standing up and not contributing to their nonsense. And I've said this before, and I have to express it again. Every time you wear one of these, you are giving them your energy. You are giving them power to continue growing in their strength, to continue doing evil. And I have to remind you guys that if you are not in alignment with the dark and the evil, then it is vital that you stop complying and that you stop giving and feeding your energy to it. Especially your children, which I'm going to talk about something that has to do with the children that I got a download on in a minute. So every time people are complaining due to fear, that feeds them. And I had talked about this a long time ago at the beginning of all this. At the beginning, it was understandable. This was different. People were scared. You know, people really felt it had to do with, you know, protecting yourself, protecting your loved ones, because that's what they were saying. There's so much information out there now, and people have that awareness that all of this has nothing to do with the virus. Has nothing to do with that. Had everything to do with instilling fear, because that's how they feed off of people's souls, and that's how they get their power. Those of you who really understand what has been taking place and happening and what they do, then you know that what they feed off of is torturing people, especially children, and instilling fear, because that's how they get people to do what they want. So at the beginning, fine. I get it. I understand. People didn't know what was happening. But now people know what's going on. It's everywhere. It's out in the open. Like I said, they don't care anymore. They're running rampant. Like, they are running amok. And so this is helping them, because they get to see that they pretty much could do whatever they want, and nothing. They feel they are untouchable, because people are still complying. Literally, I'm at the park right now. Why are people wearing the face covering at a park? Like, what the flip is happening that people, I just don't know. So this is what I'm talking about. They have had such an impact, a fear impact on people, that they are still wearing the covering. A lot of them are very clear and aware that it doesn't work, that it's more harmful than it's protecting from anything, and that there is no logical science behind it. There are scientists and doctors who've said it doesn't work. Why are they still wearing it? So these are the things that I'm telling you. Same thing with the poison that people are injecting in their bodies. They know it does not work, and yet they're taking boosters. They know that it could potentially harm their body, but they're taking chances. This is all ridiculous. So this is why I'm saying people are really aware of what's happening. The truth is out, okay? Because again, somebody asked me, when is the truth going to be revealed? How much more truth do you guys need? Truth is revealed. Everything's out in the open now, and it's in plain sight. So for people to continue to do this is because they're operating from a fear base, and not from God's space. Okay, so it's very important to go back into your center and ask yourself, why am I contributing to something that I know is evil? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is what I'm hearing. This is what God Creator has been, saying, that I need you guys to help. I need humanity to help, do God's work. And the more you comply, the more you're helping the evil grow in their power. Look what's happening at the border. And I had said this in the last few messages. Look where we're at now. This is no longer in the spirit realm. Okay, before this started, so when this started, it was a spiritual war. Well, what I heard and what I'm being shown is it's no longer just spiritual. It's now in the physical realm. And this is why I was saying that it's very important that everybody speak truth, share light, and really let each other know that you are part of the solution, that you are part of bringing that awareness, bringing that love, that support, that community that offers and is open to everyone, with the rose. This is what pulls us together in our energy, in our love God energy. And when we don't do that and we're still complying, then we're feeding their nonsense. We're giving our power away. We're giving our energy. We're giving our spirit away. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, I'm at the park and they have little babies wearing face coverings. Like, what is going on? And now that they passed this from 5 to 11, parents should have been running the other way, pulling their kids out. But they still, for some reason, I don't know. And this is not to pass judgment, but this is to bring awareness that this is not ever going to end, and we're only going to go into it deeper because people are still waiting for someone else to take action. And no, it's not going to happen that way. Now, I know that it's been so long and it's been a challenge to stay in your heart space. And I've talked about this in the past because I've been challenged and I still get triggered and challenged. And the more time goes by, the more challenging it is to remain in your heart space. But this is what they want, right? And this is why it's more important that we do listen to these messages and that we do get reminded that they don't get to win, that they don't get to choose over our body, that they don't get to take our power away, that we are sovereign beings and that we are of God love and light, and that without our consent, they cannot do any of this. So this is what I'm telling you. You need to not give consent. You need to not go along with it. That's a big part of it. Now, what I was going to speak into about the children, it's very important that you're aware and connected to what's going on with them, and that they work around the energies of certain things that are coming up, okay, like Halloween. You just need to hear this. They're going to do so many sacrifices, so many things to children that most will not even imagine in their lifetime could happen. And so I really ask that you do not participate in dressing your children up in what is considered dark stuff because you're helping them. And also make sure that you're with your children and that you are lifting vibration in their space by just, I guess, having them do positive things, not encourage scary movies or just stuff that is conjuring negative energy. You don't want to do that. It's very important because, see, everything that we have used to bring good to ourselves, or that we think that we're doing innocently, they use it to their advantage and reverse it into something evil. And so for many, Halloween is like super exciting time. We honor, our loved ones in spirit, trick-or-treating, all that stuff. Well, they always reverse it, and then that's one of the days that they do the most sacrifices. And people don't have any idea. So this year I'm going to ask that everybody protect their children, pray with your children, raise vibration, light a candle, and if you're going to dress them up in things that have nothing to do with low vibration stuff. And then also, gosh, what was it? There was so many things that I couldn't keep in my awareness because it's just coming in. Yeah, I know I'm missing some stuff, but remember to always check the bottom because I will always add it at the bottom. Okay, the other thing is there's so many links that I've been sharing where I encourage you guys to follow because they're going to help guide you guys in making the right decisions for yourself, your family, your children, as far as the mandates go at your work, what they're trying to force you guys to do. These are attorneys, doctors, scientists, people that are in the real world, knowing what's going on and what you should do, shouldn't do. So when I share links, it's because it's going to help you make decisions, but also maybe give you the support that you guys need during this time. So please make sure that you guys are listening to and following those people. Of course, use discernment, use your own opinion on what feels right to you guys. But if I share it, it's because I've taken the time to really connect and see where that energy comes from. So I don't always connect and share everything. As you guys see on my post, on my storyline, I share so much information, but there's so much that I don't share because I don't want to get into bringing fear. I want to bring facts. So again, bring facts, not fear. But you don't want to stop. You don't want to stop because that's what they're wanting. They want to wear us down and they want us to stop. And we can't stop because they're getting ready to do something pretty big, and we needed to make sure that we are all aware and connected and that we are protected and have each other. So don't let your guard down. Keep your God armor on and continue your prayers. Yeah, so it's a lot of what seems like repetition, but if it's being repeated, it's because people are still not taking initiative, action, and a lot of people are so still buried in this comfortable space of La La Land that I don't really get why they're not being more involved in what's happening. So the other thing that I want to just kind of share, I know that there's some people that are aware of what's happening and they're choosing not to deal with it. And the reason why is because I'm going to bring back the analogy of the relationship that I was speaking of, like being in an abusive relationship. A lot of the times, people who are in an abusive relationship choose to look the other way because it's easier for them to be in a fantasy world than to accept what's happening in the relationship, because then now that means that they're going to feel pain in order for them to process the reality or the dissolution of what they thought was. So they end up just accepting that is what it is. And so right now you're going to see a lot of that happening too. A lot of people know that they've been lied to, cheated on, and that the GOV, ER, I'm not going to spell the whole thing, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. They've lied to them. And so they go into denial, into shock. But the other thing too is that, it's kind of like when there's a couple in a relationship and one is cheating on the other, and then you go and tell that person with the intention or purpose of helping them or trying to just bring awareness that they're being lied to or cheated on. And what they end up doing is they are upset, but they go back to that person, and then they end up being mad at the person that told them what was happening. Because they didn't want to know the truth. They prefer to be in that relationship that it has no substance because they don't know how else or where else to go to. That's all they know. So they end up going back into that relationship, forgive them, and keep being in it with the sense of like blindness to everything that's going on, so as long as that they're comfortable and being taken care of. And that's what's happening with a lot of people right now. Again, the truth is everywhere, but people are choosing to look the other way, and that's why it's truth is for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. So is there truth? There's truth everywhere. It's out. It's in open. It's out in the open. It's up to us to do something with it. And so, yeah, please continue staying in your prayers. If there's links that I share, I encourage you guys to follow those people also, whether it's here or on my storyline. Follow those people so that you are current with what's going on. That's another part of having that awareness. Choose to be proactive and start getting involved with your community, with going to the school district, with calling your governors, with all that. Those are things that you guys can do to so that they know that we are the majority. But it doesn't matter if we're the majority when everybody is afraid of speaking up for the sake of whatever, I don't know. It's not a time to be afraid no more. It's time to be in your power, and it's time to just really turn the ship around, because I'm telling you, we're so close to it just not being turned, it's just not going to be turned around. And the children really need us to step up. The children really need us to step up and protect them. So it's not for you, do it for the kids. They can't protect themselves. If you're afraid, imagine what the kids are feeling. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. This is not fair. This world that these kids are growing up in right now is not fair to them. So, yeah, there's just so much I can keep, ranting on about, but I want to keep it to what's going on and not my opinion. So, yeah, please continue to share your flowers, your white roses, so that we know we are still here, we're standing, we're community, and that we're bringing light, love, and God to the world. I hope.